This is episode, I don't know, is it 107?
Yeah. 107.
107 sounds good,
Come
right?
on, Nathan, slap it together.
Slap it together. Doing it now.
Smoke it.
Obviously joining me tonight is the one and only Tyler. Tyler, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I'm sick as a dog, bronchitis and all that stuff. I'm missing some parts of my soul and body parts, but we won't go into detail on that just yet. I'm doing great. How about you, though, Nathan?
Oh, exhausted, tired, anxious, stressed out, all of the above.
Holy crap, you sound like a high schooler. What's going on, man?
I got a baby coming next month, so
I hope not high school. Jeez.
Yeah, hopefully not, right? But yeah, I'm all right. I forgot to mention, by the way, Kevin likes to start the show out saying the only podcast that does this. So I'm going to say this is the only podcast that could be shorter than updating your Apple Watch because it takes freaking forever. But anyway, I digress.
I got it.
But joining us tonight is our guest for this week, Alicia. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. I would ask how you're doing, but you've already told us, and I mean, you've got a lot on your plate right now.
I stole the thunder. My bad.
I know, Tyler.
You guys are you got a lot of emotions.
I know. Sometimes me and Nathan look at each other in our, in the eyes of the screen, even though this was our first time meeting properly. And I go, Nathan, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Nathan." Anyways, go ahead.
And then I go, Tyler. So Alicia, you're really loving that soundboard thing, aren't you?
I don't have anything. What are you talking about?
I don't know. That was just a great voice. I'm sorry. My bad.
It's okay.
If I have to drop into the Emperor at some point, we'll have to see if we can do a duel off of our voices. So, Alicia, we want to thank you, obviously, for joining us as we go on this rampage of a podcast because Donnie's not here. Kevin's not here. I'm the third stringer, and I don't host podcasts like for this one. I host my own. I just do my own thing over there, but this is more premium content. Like the Xbox One X is going to be premium content.
Indeed.
But, Alicia, for those who are new to the internet, why don't you tell people who you are?
Well, my name is Alicia, and I go by 8-Bit Blonde online, and I am a partnered streamer on Mixer. And I'm also a community manager in the gaming industry. So I basically live, breathe, eat, and dream about video games. So,
what video games do you eat?
Usually, like the light and fluffy ones, kind of like the Marios of the gaming world. Which I know I say Mario wrong. I'm Canadian. Blame it on that.
It's Mario. No, I understand. I'm trying to remember. Jeff Baccalar from Giant Bomb pronounces it just like that too. So
I don't know where I picked that up. I don't know where I picked that up. I just say it weird, and everyone likes to point it out.
Are you Northeast?
I am. Yes.
So that is a dialect of the northeastern area. Like I hear New Yorkers say Mario all the time or whatever because I think that's more of the dialect out there.
Yeah.
But as you go further west, you say it correctly.
Yeah, correctly. Exactly. I'm from Quebec. Shade. So I'm very much the eastern part of Canada, and I actually spent a lot of my time growing up in New York State. So I could blame it on that.
All right, we got it figured out. It's the heritage.
Yeah, there you
go. So sorry to interrupt you, but I do think that you should probably go for the cartridges. They're lower on carbs. Yeah, and the DS ones they don't fill you up quite enough. But
so
go
crunchy,
ahead, please. They're crunchy, and you could use some good salsa with those. I'm just pro tip.
Now, Alicia, hot question for you.
Yeah.
Now, I've done my fair share on YouTube and Twitch, but Mixer is a whole new battlegrounds. Now, how does that feel doing something like that versus what's considered, the mainstream?
Well, I started off on the mainstream. I've never been one to do pre-recorded content. I just don't have the patience for editing, which funnily enough, I actually went to school for video production, but I hate doing it. So I just went directly to live streaming. And like most people, I started off on Twitch.
Right.
And I was there and I wish I had kept like an accurate timeline of my experiences with streaming, but it's a big blur at this moment.
I can't blame you.
It it all kind
It's
of
that
melts
starting
together.
period where everything like it feels like it can crash and burn at any second, and you get a couple of good successes, and then in your case, a good runaway success, and I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I started off on Twitch. I stayed relatively small on Twitch, and I ended up burning out pretty quickly because I just tried to do way too much at once. And so I took a hiatus, and I decided to come back to streaming, and I wanted to start fresh. And a friend of mine in the Xbox community introduced me to what was Beam at the time. And I just fell in love with the community, and I decided to give it a shot. So
nice.
Yeah.
Now, back on the Twitch days, what would you say your cliche go-to game would be?
Oh my gosh, I was obsessed with Guild Wars 2.
Really? You're a Guild Wars? Nice.
I was. I don't game on PC anymore. I had to pick one platform and kind of just stick with it just for my sanity and lack of hours in the day. But yeah, I was Guild Wars 2. That was my my go-to for a long time on Twitch.
All right, fair enough. I was never really much of a Guild Wars 2 kind of person. I was always a bit of a WoW addict, so to speak, and yeah, there's quite a bit of a discussion behind that one, but
I was too. I played a lot of World of Warcraft throughout my college years.
Same, pretty much, for better or worse.
Yeah, and I played it when I was streaming on Twitch as well, but I just never really streamed it all that much. I did here and there, but not obsessively.
I'm playing it right now. No, not right now, but Legion's wrapping up, and there's actually quite a bit of talk about it thanks to BlizzCon coming out today. But yesterday, I think, or no, today, yesterday, today. Oh man, so much expansion talk. The battle for Azeroth. Actually, right now, my fiance's over here playing, doing some World Quest right now, so to speak.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Nathan, what have you been doing, buddy?
As far as games, I have been playing one game.
Ooh.
Assassin's Creed Origins. It's amazing.
Oh. That was bated breath. Holy smokes.
I wanted to make sure everybody was on the edge of their seats.
I felt my heartbeat. I think I might have heard hers. Jeez.
Well, it's a fantastic game, and I want to talk a little bit more about it in a little bit. But before we do, I'd be remiss if I didn't, again, echo Kevin in asking, Alicia, since this is your first time on PSVG.
Your turn. Haha.
We ask everybody their favorite gaming memory, achievement, accomplishment, whatever you think is the answer to that question. There are no wrong answers, but you will be judged.
Oh gosh. This is, I mean, I've said this, I think I've said this a few times, but it really is my favorite gaming memory is probably when I first discovered a gaming forum. Because
a particular one?
Yeah, it was actually for RuneScape.
Yes.
And
I knew it. I called it.
It was actually for RuneScape, and then shortly after, I found one for Fable, which is still to this day my favorite game of all time.
Fable.
Yeah, I remember finding a forum for RuneScape and just realizing that there was a whole community.
It was like my goal for almost like 6 months to try to become a forum moderator because I just wanted to be the cool people with the green post on that thing, but I wasn't that cool. Plus, I was like 10, so it was for the better.
Yeah, I was really young, and that was kind of when it clicked that gaming was more than just something to like keep me occupied. There was an actual community behind it, and it was a whole hobby, and there was hundreds of people and thousands of people that I had yet to meet, and who had the same interests as me. So that's kind of my favorite memory, because it finally clicked that this was something that I could share with other people.
Social to the core.
Only about video games.
About video games. Sorry, the gaming side. Social video games. That's awesome. So RuneScape. Now that was on Apple II.
Apple II? Did it start on Apple II?
I don't know.
No.
I'm gonna say it was a PC game by Jagex. What, 1990s, mid 90s?
I should know this because I actually read the unofficial history of RuneScape about 3 years ago, which is actually a pretty interesting ebook. I should know the exact day the exact year, but I cannot remember for the life of me right now. But it was very early on.
I still have that bitter day where I sold a yellow party hat for 10,000 gold. So I can get, I think it's called adamantine. Not even rune knight armor back in the day. Like, thinking about it now, how much those poppies are worth, just it breaks my heart. But
I feel very detached from this conversation because anything I played on PC back in the day was like StarCraft, and that's it.
Alicia, remember the barrels? Remember Castle Wars?
Remember? I played very rudimentary RuneScape. I just remember having 2 of my closest friends over for a sleepover and being so stoked to show them that I could make bread in the game.
Nice.
Like, I was just so pumped. I was like, listen, you guys, look what I can do. And then like just wandering around Lumbridge and killing goblins.
Yeah, yep.
That is like,
slashing a cow in half. I'm like, yes, your leather is mine.
Powerful.
Oh man, just training attack to 40 just by killing a bunch of cows. Those were the days. Sorry, Nathan. I'm sorry. I'm getting
killing cows.
Oh yeah.
They wouldn't do much damage, and you got experience based off how much damage you did for the attack stats. So you could just hack at cows all day.
Did you at least like claim the beef or anything, or?
Yeah, because that would level your cooking.
But yeah, the leather specifically, you'd kill the cows in Eastern Lumbridge, take it down to, I don't remember what the sand place is called. You could tan it up and then put it in your bank, and then back up you go. And it was a process.
It was such a grind.
Oh, gosh.
I feel like we need a RuneScape podcast now.
Hey, I can talk about mining in Eastern Barrack all day, baby. Man, the times fighting bots and freaking random events popping up.
Oh man, the bots.
The bots. They're still there too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow. The bots.
Memories.
Yes.
I remember the bots.
Never forget the bots.
The first bots that I ever played were in Perfect Dark though.
Wait, what?
In Perfect Dark. The first bots I had in gaming, were like,
oh, you mean like enemy AI or?
Yeah. You could add bots into a game. I don't know what you're talking about. When you say bots, that's what comes to mind for me.
Bots in RuneScape was a nightmare scenario because hypothetically millions of Chinese children, and at least that's what I picture, are all like being whipped where they got like 4 computers apiece, and they're trying to spam controlled programs and scripts to like just basically farm gold and then sell it on the internet. And an honest, hard-working man like myself who didn't have members at the time would want his coal or his iron. And meanwhile, there's 5, please, I just need shoes for my father over in, Xinjiang. I'm sorry, that was a bad. I think that's actually a real city, so that's my defense. Would be fighting me for the iron.
And then they had the gall to try to sell you gold right there in chat from your hard-earned iron.
Wave 2, Flash 2, selling 2 million gold for $4.99. Check out this suspicious website.com.
Just offensive.
I think we're gonna get along well.
I do know something about Fable though. If you want to talk about Fable,
yes,
sure.
I'm always down to talk about Fable.
My only problem with Fable though is I haven't played the first one.
That's the best one.
No. I have the Fable Anniversary disc that I never played on 360, and I bought it on 360.
Dude, I literally have it right beside me right now.
In my drawer over there too. We could have like a little show and tell. But they recently added it to backwards compatibility for Xbox One. So when I get my X, that could be a game that I hop in there to see what they've done to enhance the experience.
Enhance.
Because as Alicia's sign says, it plays better on Xbox. Everything does.
But I like to think that I play better on Xbox.
All right. So that's really cool, actually. A good heritage to have. Like RuneScape, that's OG. That's legit. That's something that I don't have because, again, I wasn't a PC gamer for, at that time. But it's cool that I was able to bring you two together and you could have this discussion.
Thank you. We made a connection of adamantine and iron and cow killing and all that stuff.
And Chinese children.
And Chinese slave-driven children, yes.
Yeah.
That needed shoes for their fathers.
All right.
I mean, they might have needed food, too. I don't know.
Well, they needed some I'm not going to go there. Anyway, so Before we go any crazier on this ride, Alicia, what have you been playing?
I've actually also been playing Assassin's Creed.
Oh, we can talk about that now.
Ooh.
Yes, I've been playing Assassin's Creed, and I actually just got access to Super Lucky's Tale. So those are the two games that I've been kind of like, double-handed gaming at the moment. But yeah, Origins.
Origins is fantastic. So how far along are you? How many hours?
Oh, okay. So I'm probably about 13 hours in.
We're about the same, probably.
That 13 hours does not equate to progression in the game.
No, mine doesn't either.
Oh, I'm so distracted. I'm so distracted.
Everywhere. It's so fun to wander, though.
I sat for 30 minutes petting cats.
Wait, you can pet cats in Assassin's Creed?
It's an idle animation. So if you crouch next to a cat, Bayek will pet the cat. And I literally got so caught up. And then the cat will follow you once you get up. And that was it for me. I was like, oh my God.
That's hilarious.
4 out of 5 assassin kitties never make it out of their crates.
Oh.
In the arms of... just messing. Sorry.
I came across a dog last time I was playing. I was trying to figure out how I could pet it, but I guess maybe I could have done the same thing, just like crouch by it and just let it go idle and see what happened.
Yeah, just hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. So that's cool though. And with me, I play it. I just wander around. I just check everything out. Like I don't like to leave an area before I like check off all the items on the map, and it takes me forever then to actually get anywhere in a game. That's one of the things I loved about The Witcher though, was that you could just go right, and as long as you were leveled high enough, you could do whatever you want. And it's the same kind of thing with Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. There was an area like right after the first region that if you wandered over there, these guys just had the red marks over their head, and you just like stay away from them. Yeah. And I was like, well, this is where I go, right? There's a thing I can climb. I want to climb it, but then there's these. Yeah, you're dead in like one arrow. So.
Ooh, like Breath of the Wild level difficulty, like beware.
So in Breath of the Wild, remember, I've gotten like 4 hours into that game.
Same actually.
Alicia.
I just bought, in my defense, I just bought a Switch last weekend. Last weekend. Was
it for Mario?
This might actually kind of rip us apart here, but I'm not.
I got my brown Sega ready.
I'm not a huge Nintendo fan.
I mean, it's acceptable. Don't get me wrong. Donnie says, I'm the biggest Nintendo fan. Okay, sure, Donnie. Listen now. Number 1 Nintendo fan is Nathan. I'm number 2, though. So, I'm just kidding, Nathan. I want you to take the hit.
Donnie's over in chat right now. He's probably about to pull the plug on this whole thing. He's going to
go,
no.
Nintendo fans.
Oh no! It's not that I dislike Nintendo. I just never grew up with Nintendo. Like I didn't have Nintendo consoles in my house. I had Game Boys, but I didn't have home consoles. And so once I got like past PlayStation 2, I started working my way backwards. And like I got a GameCube, I got an NES, and everything like that. But I haven't played a lot of the staples of retro gaming. So yeah, that's my shame when it comes to.
It's okay. I mean, when during one Christmas, my dad gave me a Super Nintendo for Christmas, and gave my sister the PlayStation. And so my sister was playing Spyro when I was playing older Nintendo or Super Nintendo games, and so I fell in love with Link to the Past, and she's playing Spyro the Dragon, Crash Team Racing, and all that stuff. We intermingled a bit, but I don't know why Nintendo looked so much cooler to me, even though it was pixelated versus 3D, collecting those dragons. Yes.
So anyway, back to Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
What do you think so far of the overall gameplay? They took a year off, right? And I can see the improvement over Syndicate like right off the bat. But what do you think of the gameplay, the hooks and things like that they've and the microtransactions? We have to talk about that a little bit. Come on now. So what do you think of it?
So far, so good. I am not a particularly careful player. I don't like sneaking all that much, so I end up engaging in combat more frequently than the game probably thinks I should. So, hand-to-hand combat in Assassin's Creed has always been kind of clunky.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels a little bit more polished this time. It feels a little bit more fluid, which is nice. I feel like I can get myself out of sticky situations a little bit easier than I could in Syndicate and past Assassin's Creed games. But I mean, the game is just beautiful. The game is beautiful, and the side quests I find are fun.
Yeah.
And varied so far. I mean, granted, I have not explored, more than 1/6 of the map, if that.
Have you encountered any historical figures yet?
Yes.
Cool.
I have not.
Awesome. Would I know him by name or her?
Yes, you would know her by name.
Okay, so I haven't met her yet. Then I'm on my way to at this point. I'm a slower gamer.
You're like.
I look around.
4 hours into Breath of the Wild, March 3rd, 2017.
I had it on launch too. It's just I don't play games very fast.
Man, you're like a Smash Mouth song just waiting to happen. Disappointment haunting on my dreams. I'm just messing.
It's okay. It's okay.
And then I saw her face. No, I'm a RuneScaper without cow leather. No.
Did you just watch Shrek recently?
No. Yes. No.
Okay.
No.
But with Assassin's Creed, they changed out the controls a little bit for the attacks.
Yeah.
You're talking about the light and heavy attacks. Did it take you a little bit to get used to that? Because it took me a little bit.
Yes.
Especially coming from Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War.
Yeah, using the bumpers, that threw me off. I just was not used to that. So I end up trying to spam like my heavy attack without realizing it's my heavy attack.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then I'm like, why am I not doing anything? Or by heck, why aren't you doing anything? And then I'm like,
why is he so slow?
I'm like, oh, dummy, you're not supposed to be using that. And like, I switch back and forth from games all the time. So like, I'm constantly having to adjust muscle memory, which is just, this is terrible. For like the first 15 minutes I pick up a new title, I'm just like, oh. But it definitely took some getting used to. I do like the fact that they removed the mini map this time around. I feel like the scenery is so beautiful. The more of it I get to see on my screen, the better.
It looks gorgeous. I take pictures all the time.
Now, are they doing some kind of like minimalistic view now, or with this game?
It is minimalistic.
I mean, do you think they're taking away like health bar and they don't really? Well, they kind of do a health bar, but are they taking away a heads up display versus just seeing like Breath of the Wild, where you take away what you see so you can see more of the environment?
I don't, because I know that there's a health bar.
Yeah,
and there's little like things that come off to the side of your screen when there's people that are walking around to kind of tell you where they're at.
Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't noticed anything intrusive, if that's what you're asking.
I was just about to say that it's not like the UI isn't intrusive at all this time around. Like I don't feel like it's getting in my way when I'm trying to look at a vista or something like that.
And it's super easy to take pictures. Like all you gotta do is click the two sticks in, and then you're in photo mode, and you can take some really gorgeous looking picture shots. The game is so cool. Like it just looks fantastic, and I can't wait to see it on X. Are you getting an X, by the way?
Yes. I am anxiously awaiting my delivery on the 7th. So anxiously awaiting.
Scorpio edition?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're very ready for that. And I don't know about you guys, but I love games that include native photo mode now. Like I feel so spoiled by that. I definitely agree. I definitely think that other games could benefit from that. But I'm very happy they include it in Origins because it is just it's really cool.
Assassin's Creed Origins. It so far has a thumbs up from me. It sounds like the same from you.
Yeah. Cool. So far so good.
So that's all I've been playing, and you've been playing it too. But what else have you been playing?
I got hands-on with Super Lucky's Tale.
What do you think so far?
So I got to play Super Lucky's Tale at E3 and Xbox Fan Fest earlier this summer. And it was a short demo because I didn't want to hog the station. But I kind of fell in love with it because he's super adorable. And I got major Spyro vibes from it.
Ooh, Spyro. Okay.
Yeah. And, after I played for about 3 hours today. And I took my time. I was exploring everything. It is definitely a family-friendly game. Definitely for kids. But it felt nice to kind of escape into a game that wasn't all about, stabbing people. But also at the same time wasn't like a walking simulator, wasn't, an artistic video game or anything like that. It was just a good feeling, all ages, fun game that doesn't really test, your mental capacity all that much. But it's fun and it's beautiful and the level design is great. But yeah, I mean, for $30, I don't really think you can go wrong, especially if you have young kids in the house to kind of play along with you. But yeah.
What do you think of the camera? Because I know that there's been some people that are complaining about it, and it's getting marks against it on the game. But what have you noticed?
To be honest, I haven't really touched the camera all that much. It's like the right joystick, you can kind of adjust it like by 3 degrees. But I don't really use it all that much. Kind of just let it flow naturally. Like I let it follow Lucky how it's supposed to. I don't try to force it one way or the other. So I don't really see what everyone's complaining about when it comes to the camera. Maybe I just haven't reached a certain point in the game where it becomes necessary for me to try and rotate my field of vision. But we'll see. But yeah, so far it hasn't been. It's been a non-issue for me.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that just judge it by being a family-friendly game or a budget title or things like that. But it sounds like it's not just a game to pass over, but it may not just be for everybody, right?
Definitely. I don't think it's for everybody. And I think maybe, I think reviewers might be putting it at a disadvantage by thinking it's for everybody. Or, in my opinion, unfairly pitting it against Mario Odyssey, which, I mean, is just not a fair comparison.
Right? That doesn't sound right at all.
It doesn't. I mean, it's just like, and I've also been playing Mario Odyssey at the same time. And it's just, they're on 2 different levels, 2 different stages in an IP's life cycle. It's just not.
Please, Alicia, it's Odyssey. Odyssey. Mario Odyssey.
My bad, Odyssey.
I'm just messing.
Darn that Quebecer accent of mine.
Well, that's cool.
Wow, say that word 3 times fast. You say Quebecer?
Quebecer, yeah.
Is that proper like terminology? Like people call them those Quebecers?
Yeah.
Huh. Kind of like how they call us Michiganders, as like a flock of geese.
Michiganders.
Or losers, depending, if you're from Ohio or not. But details.
Ooh.
I know, fighting words. Those bloody Buckeyes.
Wow.
Anyway. I just moved to the U.S., so I'm like slowly learning about all these rivalries.
It's
like
okay.
Between states. I'm just like, oh, hey, you guys don't like each other. All right, fine.
The Buckeyes is a poisonous plant with a terrible football team. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. But I mean, they sound pretty crummy.
I mean, one of those is a lie. I'm not sure which one it is, so I'll let you decide.
This just in, Donnie fired Tyler.
Hey, guys.
Got that voice choke going on.
What is Donnie doing to me? No.
Get away from me.
All right. Anyway, so Super Lucky's Tale sounds like it's all right. Anything else?
No, that's been about it. Breath of the Wild about 4 hours in, but I don't even want to.
Hey, progress is progress.
Can't say anything about that yet, other than there's a surprising lack of music.
Yeah, just like faint piano.
Ambient, of course. I like the ambient noise though.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's something I noticed right away. I was just like, oh, I can hear the whippoorwills and like grass moving. This is different, which is nice. It's nice, but so far.
Cool.
Now, when you hear a lot of piano music actually in that game, that's when you got to run because then you get a red laser on you and scary things happen.
little like alarm goes off. Before we move on to Tyler, what he's been playing, since this is the first time, obviously, you've been on, have you played Cuphead, and what are your impressions, if so?
I did play Cuphead. I haven't finished it yet. I mean, I loved it. I think it was a masterpiece in game development, or at least the artistic side of game development. I think it's not to be missed, and I'd like to see more from the studio in the future. Because I mean, that was something special. I mean, I am a very ragey person. Like I get so mad when I play games, and I managed to play Cuphead for a good 4 or 5 hours, and only towards the end of 5 hours start getting angry, and that was mostly because I was tired.
Yeah, that's what happens, right? You've been playing it for so long, and you're just you're trying to force your way through, and it just doesn't work with that kind of game.
Yeah, you go on tilt, exactly. So I was just like, you know what? I put it away for now, and I'll come back to it. And honestly, Cuphead released, and then a bunch of other titles released. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to tuck this away kind of for a rainy day. But yeah, I like it. I like Cuphead.
Cool. I've only played a little bit of it, maybe a couple of hours. I've only beaten like 2 bosses and 1 random level where you're running around. But the art style, like you said, is fantastic. It's got a really good soundtrack and score, and just very inspired. It's a very inspired game, and I love it. I'm just not good at it, so that's my problem.
Can't blame you.
What?
I said I can't blame you.
Oh, I thought I said
I'm
K
terrible
Bueno.
at
I'm like,
platforms.
that doesn't make sense to me.
I can't wait to see your suffering and destruction in this game. You're gonna stream it, right?
Well, so if I get a donation on Extra Life and they say, "Hey, you have to play Cuphead for
Plug.
Extra Life," yeah, coming soon.
Yeah.
And Tyler, what have you been playing?
Yes. I actually am not prepared for this at all, so I'm just going to spew the same stuff I've done before. I played a bit more of Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey. Oh, yeah. Doing some cleanup now. I got the first and second world completely 100% cleaned up. Got every single moon I can find. And last night, my best friend came in for a little bit. I tried this assist mode. Have you guys tried the, well, not assist, 2-player mode?
No.
No.
It was just, he took over as Mario, and, I'm able to control the cap at any given moment. And just the idea that I'm just going around, bouncing up, knocking stuff up. And, he's trying to time a jump over a pile of lava. And I'm like, ha-ha, sucker, and just, launch him in the air with the cap right into the lava was both. Actually, I wasn't sure if he was going to be my best friend anymore. It was kind of trying. Like, Mario Party was rivaling the difficulty I was setting for him. And then there's moments he would jump intentionally into the lava and then possibly far jump. And then I would have to save him. And then it was like, #1 support right here. Yeah. And, I felt cool. I've been playing a little bit more World of Warcraft. I'm starting over. My fiance started picking it up, and I've been playing with her, trying to play catch up with her. Then I got ahead of her, and then I kept playing. But that's besides the point. Playing a little bit more of Amnesia. I talked about it quite a bit in the last episode. It is still spooky, just a little bit. I only lost 2 pair of boxers, so I'm doing good.
Wait, you lost them?
Well,
They're gone now.
Yeah, they disappeared. I don't
You're
know.
not going to talk about them, right? They never existed.
I mean, if you donate $5 minimum to Nathan's Extra Life, I'll tell you the story of what happened to the first one. $10 will give you the second pair of boxers. the second one has a story on its own. It'd take like 5 whole minutes. But yeah, I played a good bit of Amnesia.
Nice. Anything else, good sir?
No. Like, it's basically those triumvirate of games. Mario Odyssey, trying to play pickup after I beat the game. WoW and Amnesia. Seth tried getting me to play a visual novel. I don't remember what it's called specifically, but it looked horrifying.
Well, that's great podcasting material right there.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember what it's called. Doki Doki Literature Club.
I have never heard of that. Is that a PlayStation game? That's my way.
It's a Steam game. It's a visual novel. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm taking off all the wrong checkpoints here. And I played just a little bit of it. And if you want shock value, that's pretty much the game to go to. Have you heard about it, Alicia?
I've heard about it. I was actually really into visual novels for a while, but not the horror ones. I like.
What's your favorite one?
Oh my gosh.
Put you on the spot here.
Yeah, it was on Steam.
Dun.
Something. It was, the name had dandelions or something in it, or dandelion. It was about a girl that was in a wheelchair.
The only one I can think of is Katawa Shujo, but that's
no.
That's the 4chan one.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not the name. And I can't remember the name of it, but I think it had dandelion in it. But yeah, it was interesting. I gave them a shot.
I think my favorite is probably Fate Stay Night. Have you ever messed with that one?
That's an anime, isn't it, too?
They did make an anime, and they made quite a bit of animes for each of the different endings because, parallel timelines and all that crap. But anyways, I completely jumped off the point. Nathan, I have nothing else in my repertoire right now. So take it away, my friend.
Cool. So I don't know if I said that we're not going to do any questions, but I do have a couple quick ones I think we can knock out quickly. So without further ado, let's peek into the messages. My voice cracked there. The messages. There we go. Keep that in, Kevin. That'd be good. Yeah.
Who says Kevin's doing this?
Ooh, Tyler. How you doing? So question number 1 comes from Carl. He says, "Who's getting an Xbox One X, and if so, why? If not, why not?" So, Alicia, let's turn that over to you.
So, Carl, yes, I am going to be getting an Xbox One X. Why? Because I want more processing power. I want
Those
my
teraflops.
games. I mean, I want my games to look and run
Better?
to the best of their ability.
Right? I mean, if you have a PS4, you'd want the PS4 Pro, right?
Exactly. Like, I mean, I'm personally not against the idea of a premier piece of hardware. I'm very excited that Microsoft is not, they're not omitting the Xbox One S or anything like that. Everything's going to be shared across. It's a family, right? Now they're calling it a family of consoles, which I think is pretty cool. No one's getting left behind. But if you want to spend that little extra cash, and I mean, I'm working with a day one Xbox One. So it's starting to feel its age, starting to hum a little bit louder. It's starting to, the disk drive is starting to go. So it was time to upgrade, and I figured, you know what, I'll just take that next step. And I got to go hands-on with the X at the Xbox Fan Fest at E3 this year, and
oh my,
the benefits are there, even if you don't have a 4K TV. So
definitely noticeable.
Definitely noticeable. Definitely, especially paired with like Dolby Atmos. I don't know if you guys have used that at all, but that is just—it's a full experience. Yeah. Well, it's it's really great, and seeing like gears on the X is just, it's beautiful.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So you said you can only imagine, Tyler. So what's your answer to Carl's question?
Well, Carl, my question or my answer to you, my good sir, or lady, 2017 people, we don't know. My answer is I haven't touched a Microsoft console since 2008. Like, I bought and played an Xbox 360 to play Halo 3, and then I traded it in for a PlayStation 3. And I have not gone back since. No regrets whatsoever. So the answer is no. Sorry. I don't intend. I know like the bronze dagger to our RuneScape connection got a little shanked a little bit earlier.
Not at all. Not at all.
But this was the party hat selling cutting of the moment here, and you're the person that gave me 10,000 gold. I'm cutting it off. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
I don't mean to go hard on you. I'm trying to be Microsoft on you on this one.
No.
I'm sorry. That's my answer. What about you, Nathan?
For me, everybody knows I'm getting one. And I got this Project Scorpio edition pre-ordered. It is coming on Tuesday. So I'll be looking forward to playing that. And part of the reason why I got it like right away is twofold. Because I wanted the Project Scorpio edition because I love that Scorpio name. I just want to have that on the console. And secondly, Extra Life. I'm actually going to be doing my stream on the 10th, which is just a few days after the X comes out. And so I figured, hey, let's go ahead and just use the new hotness, even though it's water cooled, so it's not super hot.
And throwing those stats in.
Yeah, that's how I roll. And that's why I wanted to get day one pretty much. And I'm an early adopter anyway on all this kind of stuff. But why do I want it? I want the power. I want to see what the old games. And when I say old games, I mean any game that came out before the launch of the Xbox One X. I want to see what those games look like. Because I still need to go back and play The Witcher 3's DLC for...
Same.
What was the second DLC called? That wasn't Blood and Wine, was it? What was the second one?
There was a second
one? Something Heart of Stone?
Heart of Stone was the first. Blood and Wine was the second.
There you go, yeah.
Okay.
Does it have like an extra 2,000 hours?
It's about 2,016 hours, so if you got that time. It's one of those things where I want to see it, and it's Assassin's Creed Origins. I've been hooked on that, and I'm looking forward. I've been playing it on my S, and I want to see, okay, I've been playing it here for so long. What's it actually going to look like? And see that firsthand jump in what it actually looks like in this, 6 teraflops of power, whatever it is. And the other cool thing that I didn't even think of, before I even pre-ordered this is all the people are talking about playing like Halo 3 or not Fable. Oh, Fable could be one of them. But Halo 3, Fallout 3, games from the backwards compatibility just are going to run way better. And I want to see what that actually looks like because I love some of the games on 360. 360 is my favorite console, probably. I think sounds about right. And I can also put in Knights of the Old Republic via OG backwards compatibility and see what that looks like on Xbox One X because it's going to be enhanced too. So there's all these enhancements that are going to be available to check out and see. And my favorite games for the original Xbox, my number one game of all time is Knights of the Old Republic. So if I can experience that again in a fantastic visual, if they never remake it, which they probably never will, this will be the best way to experience it. And so that's another reason why I want it. But it just adds kind of fuel to that fire of the desire and the reasoning, I guess you could say, behind it. But yeah, I'll be getting one. Looking forward to it on Tuesday.
So soon.
So soon, just right around the corner.
So soon. Well, I'm glad for you guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not to my taste, obviously, but to whoever's excited for it, that's freaking awesome. If you told me the Switch 2.1, or actually, no, that's too soon for that. Hold on now, everything I say on that, because we already got enough like 3DSs coming out. Have you guys seen that new 3DS?
Oh gosh.
Or 2DS?
Yeah.
I don't pay
can't
attention
stop
to that.
anymore.
The Zelda one that's like the off, poop shade of green.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. I said it. What up?
Last question. This was submitted by the Don.
Oh.
So he says,
Any last words, Tyler? No.
he says, Tyler, do you have any boxes that you can pack your stuff in? The Last of Us 2 trailer. Too far? He says, I don't think so. Happy to see games taking more mature approaches to their theme and tone. So, Tyler, The Last of Us 2 trailer. First off, have you seen it?
Oh, yes. I know exactly what he's talking about.
So, what do you think? Too far?
Well, I mean, they did warn in every single rendition, through the Sony reps and all that. Warning, this might be a little mature, just a little. And honestly, with all the things I've seen before, and especially with The Last of Us, they don't hold back on being graphic. Naughty Dog has it in the bag in terms of, being mature and stuff like that. So I'd like to say no, totally not. I think Naughty Dog was in their rights to, show, hey, this is as serious of a game as it gets. And we're not going to, coddle around the idea that, hey, we're happy, fluffy zombies that, if we shoot them in the head with an arrow, rainbows come out. No, nasty stuff happens in this game. Be prepared for it. And there's Ellie. And a zombie.
Well, she wasn't in that trailer.
Oh, was that not her that was being hung?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really awkward. Huh.
Yeah, you call yourself a fan.
I never said I was a Naughty Dog fan.
What about you, Alicia? What do you think? Too far?
I mean, I am, just for the record.
No, I don't think it's too far. I think, games that are a valid form of entertainment, and like any valid form of entertainment, there's different takes on very real things, and graphic displays of violence and stuff like that. Those are a reality, and I think that if games handle them tactfully and gracefully without using them as a crutch or just shock value, and they actually play a central part to the story and the growth of the world, I think that's totally valid. And I mean, The Last of Us, it's a story about the end of the world, right? And what happens to the people who are left there and what they're doing to survive and try and fix things. And I think that's realistic. We see it on The Walking Dead, so why shouldn't we see it in The Last of Us?
Exactly. Like, we've seen The Walking Dead do some nasty funk for trailers and teasers and all that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's not like they're pushing the bar that much higher. I mean, heck, my famous example is Dead Space. Dead Space shows off every single death animation in their pre-teasing trailer, and yeah, I think it's meant to raise the bar, and I kind of respect them for going that far. I just stole your beautiful moment there, Alicia.
Well, it's okay. Here, no, it's fine.
I'm pushing the spotlight back towards you. I can't push the light.
Like with anything, whether it's a TV show or a movie, I think it's just it comes down to how it's handled and how it plays out. And I think as far as storytellers in like the video game industry, Naughty Dog has proven that they're really good at what they do.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think it's too far, personally.
What about you, Nathan?
I'm going to be the voice of dissension. I as I respect that entertainers have their ability to choose how they want to entertain and how they choose to tell their stories. That's fine. But for me, I've just there's too much darkness in the world already, and when I escape for entertainment, I don't necessarily want to see it. Seeing stuff happen in ancient Egypt, I can definitely, that's different, right? You're running around Assassin's Creed. It's different. But it's things like that are actually like pretty close to home, pretty real, with realistic looking character models and things like that. It's just, it pushes a button in me that just I don't appreciate it personally as myself. So I prefer a game like Mario to come out and be like, hey, wahoo, waha, whatever. We're jumping around, we're having fun.
Then Bowser pins him down and says, break his wings.
Exactly. It like turns into like a 360, and then all of a sudden you got this darkness just descending over everything. But I want people to enjoy what they like, obviously. But I question if people like that level of violence and what that really says about society.
Nathan, I have to agree with you, like on a personal, like to me, I'm not going to play The Last of Us 2. It's not that I don't like the story. I don't have a PlayStation. But I also agree that like there comes a point, and I'll actually come back to The Walking Dead. There was a point where I actually had to stop watching The Walking Dead because it just got too emotionally stressful for me. And it would probably be the same thing with The Last of Us. I was watching the opening for Call of Duty World War II today, and the game opens basically on D-Day. And that, seeing the uncanny valley effect of the characters, that became a little too real to me. And I had to turn off the stream that I was watching. And so like I get where you're coming from with that kind of stuff. Like there's some times where, you know what, I don't want that emotional weight. I don't want to watch it. I also don't want to experience it as a player. And so that's why like, seeing games like Super Lucky's Tale and Mario Odyssey, seeing those games come out, I like the fact that there's at least a variety.
Right, happy games.
So I mean, if we're gonna have the Naughty Dogs doing like that sounds weird. The Naughty Dogs. It sounds like an actual like
it's a Naughty Dog creation.
Yeah. If we're gonna have them doing that over in this corner, then I think the least we can do as a gaming community is bring the developers that are bringing us the lighter, more fun experiences, offer them the same sort of validity. And say,
celebrate them as well.
Exactly. Be like, oh, you're making a game about a talking fox. Well, you know what? That's just as cool as long as you put as much effort and work into it as The Last of Us. I think that's kind of where we come into play as a community is not necessarily telling them, no, you can't show that in your trailer, but being like, okay, that's not for me, but at least there's this game over here that I can support.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's, yeah.
So to answer your question, Donnie, I think you kind of got a roundabout answer from us there. But there's one sentiment that I've seen people talk about, and we've kind of mentioned it here, like we see The Walking Dead or whatever, and they have all these kind of things happen there too. And there's something to be said with media that, you consume a lot of media and you see a lot of stuff. There was a study that I heard, the average 16-year-old has seen 13,000 murders or something like that by the time they're 16 via TV and things like that. And just like, really? Wow. Like, are we getting so desensitized to it that it doesn't strike us like it should? It's just one of those weird things, but that's just my take personally. My thoughts and views do not reflect the thoughts of PSVG, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that's just Nathan's thoughts.
Ours is okay. Whoa, crap. What? I'm sorry. What? I was speaking for Don. No one. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
All right. So, anybody else have anything to say on that fact? Otherwise, we'll move on to something more entertaining.
Debate you forever, but it would get like old man boring and stuff. So let's keep going. So
old man boring. Do you have your cane and your rocker and you're outside of it? Like, I remember.
Well, you got the Grand Theft Autos, and the people have the demand for the stuff. So if there's demand, surely that's the reason why they apply to those trailers.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to, obviously, Alicia, you're here. You mentioned at the fore you are a partnered streamer with Mixer. Were you partnered before it was when it was Beam, or was it just after? I think it was just after Mixer, right?
Yeah, I just the other day, the 29th of October was my 1 month anniversary being a partner. So I'm still relatively new. But yeah. So it was after the Switch.
Okay, so it was after the Switch, not the Nintendo Switch, because it was after the Nintendo Switch, but the Switch from Beam to Mixer.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, what do you think of the? I personally liked that Beam name. I know it got a lot of slack. I liked saying, "Hey, it's Beam time" or something like that. I'm gonna go beam this instead of like stream it out. I thought it was kind of fun to say that, but Mixer, it takes a little bit to get used to, but I still want to go to Beam.pro all the time.
It did take some getting used to. Like every time I talk about it on stream, it'd be like the Mixer for like the first month or two. I was sad to see the Beam name go, but I kind of like the more I started to think about it, the more I liked Mixer because just like a social mixer, right? Is people getting to know each other usually because you have a common ground, and so it just made sense to me. It was kind of a fitting name, and if they couldn't use Beam for copyright reasons, then Mixer was a good alternative. At least I that's where I am right now. I know there's some people out there who still aren't over the loss of the Beam name, but
So I think that it's obviously a really great platform. When I first saw Beam and started hearing it, I'm gonna probably refer to it back and forth between Beam and Mixer because whatever.
No
but when I first heard about the platform, it was going to be baked into Microsoft, the Xbox One, and then brought into Windows 10, baked into the OS. It was a fantastic idea. It makes everybody a creator at that point. But the coolest thing to me was the instantaneous, like you're talking to your audience right away. You can actually engage people right away. Where with Twitch, you can have the chat up, but it was usually like 30, 40 seconds delay between what they said on the chat, you responding if you responded right away, and then they finally getting to hear it. So I felt like this is more of a direct response type method. What do you think about that?
I love the FTL aspect of Mixer so much. That was a total game changer to me. I am so community driven. I love talking with people in my chat, my community, and that's like that was a selling factor for me, was the fact that it's instantaneous. And still, like when people come, they're new to the platform, they'll say hi and you say hi back and they're like, whoa. And it's so funny to get their reaction in real time because they're like, you said hi right away. I didn't have to wait like 20 seconds before, I heard you. And to me, that's huge. And I think that's it makes Mixers stand out compared to other platforms.
So what made you want to A, start streaming, and then B, pursue the partnership?
So I started streaming because I didn't actually have all that many friends in real life that were into gaming. It sounds weird to call it real life.
We can all relate that.
Yeah, like I didn't have all that many friends that were into games, at least not to the level that I was. And I was a notoriously shy person. But I realized that I really opened up when I was able to talk about things that I'm passionate about. And so I thought, you know what? Give the streaming thing a chance. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It doesn't cost me anything, right? So I just dived in head first, and that was that. I kind of got hooked because there's a little bit of a high that goes with it. And getting to be like so pumped up and excited about what you're doing and what you're playing, and sharing it with a community of people who are just as excited about it as you are. There's something really magical about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I decided to keep at it. And after I took that little hiatus and came back to Mixer, it was completely renewed energy. I was just so passionate about it because I loved the community on Mixer. I loved my community. And I decided to go after the partnership because I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything within my power to kind of spread my message of, I call it peace, love, and video games. That's like my tagline. And I thought that being a partner on Mixer would probably be the best way to be able to get a platform to spread that message to, just more than just my community, have like a wider audience.
So when was your first stream? Do you remember?
Oh gosh. Okay. So January 1st, I want to say it was in April. No, it wasn't April. I think it was in February.
This year?
Yeah, it was of this year on Mixer. I don't remember when my first stream on Twitch was. I don't remember. But yeah, on Mixer, it must have been about February. And then I ended up taking like a 2-month-long hiatus because I was launching a game and I was moving to the United States and things just got too busy. Mm-hmm. So I ended up taking a hiatus and coming back full force at the end of April. End of April. Yeah, I think. I really should have written these down.
That's fine. No notes. That's the whole thing whenever I'm on the show. There's no notes.
Apparently. No notes whatsoever. Forbidden. Ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's been less than a year that I've been on Mixer.
So when you decided, hey, I like this platform, what were the steps that you started to take to kind of just go from I'll stream occasionally to I'm going to be a streamer?
So I think kind of like what divides the casual streamers to like people who are doing this kind of as like a secondary profession, not professional profession, but treat it as a profession. Yeah, I don't even know. There's not really a word for it because I mean, this is not my sole income or anything like that. I'm not a full-time streamer, but I am a full-time streamer, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I think what kind of divides the two is like a set schedule and actively searching out partnerships and things that you can offer your community. So early access to games like Super Lucky's Tale, stuff like that. That's kind of like the defining line. Mm-hmm. To me, at least. I don't know. I think everybody would probably have a different answer.
True. But I mean, again, you're being judged on everything you say. So I'm just kidding.
No pressure.
So with creating this community and things like that, you start to set up a schedule and you start to commit to the streamers. Do you have a lot of people that come back every day to watch the stream?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of regulars, and I actually have some community members that followed me from Twitch. They kept in touch with me over the hiatus and everything like that once I was getting settled, and they came to Mixer and now they love the platform just as much as I do. And seeing people come back, that's kind of when I know I'm doing my job right, or my non-job job.
It is a job. I mean, there's a lot of work and effort that goes into it.
It is honestly one of the most exhausting but most rewarding things ever. But yeah, like one of how I know I'm doing a good job is when I see people come back night after night after night. And I mean, obviously real life happens. Sometimes people can't be there, but when they make the effort to come back to your stream, obviously there's something about you or your stream that they like, that they want to experience again. So yeah. But no, I definitely see a lot of familiar faces.
That's cool. Or technically, in your case, familiar handles, right?
Yeah, familiar usernames. Yeah.
So when you look at using, I should say this. So when you decide what games to broadcast to I'm going to say beam, what are your criteria to select a game? Is it just depending on, tonight I want to play this, or do you kind of know, okay, this is a night where I could get some people to come if I play this game? How do you decide what to play?
So for me personally, I'm a variety streamer. That's what I bill myself as, because even in my personal time when I'm gaming, I'm all over the place. I will sometimes spend, an hour playing Elder Scrolls Online and then switch to 2 hours of Resident Evil, or I'm just looking at what's open right now on my Xbox. But, I'm all over the place. So I basically, when it comes to streaming, I just play the titles I want to play. And, a lot of the time there's new releases, but sometimes I'll skip new releases altogether and go to like a backwards compatible game or, something that's just been sitting in my library for a while and I want to revisit or play for the first time. Like this weekend on stream, I'm going to be playing Fable Anniversary and Fallout 3.
Fable Anniversary, there you go.
Which, Alicia, I mean, yes.
Has there ever been a time where you felt like you were pressured to play a game because it gave you more views for it?
Yes. And it's not worth it.
You don't think so?
No, honestly, if unless it's a game I already wanted to play, you know what I mean? Like something like Assassin's Creed does really well right now because it's new. Everyone wants to see it. Everyone kind of has like a different way of playing. Everybody's at different parts of the game because it's so fast. I wanted to play Assassin's Creed, so playing that on stream was enjoyable for me. Call of Duty, if I had streamed that today, that probably would have done really well. I probably would have got ridiculous numbers, but I wouldn't have enjoyed playing it. And when I'm not enjoying the game, that like messes up my whole vibe. And they see that, like your community picks up on that. So I don't find it's a fair trade-off.
Yeah, your enjoyment obviously exudes out to the stream, and so then your viewers will obviously pick up on that, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, it's good," or they'll feel that, you know. So yeah, I can see how it wouldn't really behoove you to really just be like, "I'm going to play this game because I don't like it, but it'll get me a view."
Yeah, totally. And I mean, it's different for every streamer. Everyone has like a different mentality when it comes to that kind of thing. I tried that on Twitch, and it's exhausting.
Right.
You're devoting hours of your life to it.
Like some people got ridiculously famous because, you know, they're great at it. Like look at say, like, for example, Dr. Disrespect. He came huge after he started become famous with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. But at this point, he's even admitted himself that he's got sick of the game. It's boring to him. But he's still playing because he's getting, 10, 20, 30,000 viewers.
Yeah. I would never want to put myself in that situation.
Have you gotten sick of any games that you have been playing for stream?
Amnesia. I'm gonna be honest.
I have not played that, and I don't plan on playing. I played maybe all of 4 minutes. I like ran into the monster for the first time, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, we're done here." I have enough of scary games at work. I don't need it in my downtime. But I'm trying to think of games that I maybe got a little burnt out on. None of them are really coming to mind because I kind of made a deal with myself early on to be like, you know what, if you're not enjoying it, move on.
Move on quickly because there's no point in dedicating like the hours to be like, well, I hear this gets better after hour 15, and you're like, no, I can enjoy myself for 15 hours somewhere else.
Exactly.
So with them installing this kind of natively on Xbox now and Windows 10, do you find that there is a lot more competition out there to get people to come to your stream, or do you just be like, whatever, I'm going to do my thing and people will come if they want to come?
Pretty much. There's a lot more fish in the pond. That's for sure, because now everybody can be a streamer. Doesn't necessarily they're going to be a quote unquote successful streamer. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, people are going to gravitate towards the streamer that they feel a connection with. And I feel like there's more than enough streamers out there and more than enough viewers out there for everybody. I think there's something for everybody. So I don't feel threatened by more streamers coming to Mixer. I think it's awesome because we're broadening that pool of selection, and more viewers are going to have more streamers to make connections with. I don't know if that sounded super corny, but I like seeing things grow and mutate, and that's where we're at with Mixer now. So
yeah, so in Twitch, there's a lot of people originally came to Beam because of the community aspect of it, because there were a lot of negative commenters and things like that you would find on Twitch a lot more often than you would at Beam. What's your experience been with like the negative commenters, the ones who are kind of just there to troll?
Oh, honestly, okay. So I like to play with trolls a little bit. Like if I have a funny comeback, I'll usually fire it off, and if I have a comeback, I'll do that, and they'll usually go away. Or if I don't have anything to say to them, I have mods that block them, and I just kind of ignore them. Like I feel like either put them in their place if you can do it successfully, or ignore them. And usually it's only if I'm feeling like playful or, in a good mood. If I'm annoyed, it's just kind of ignore and move on, because all they want is attention. All they want is your eyes on their message and to get a rise out of you or get your goat.
Senpai.
Yeah, you notice me, senpai. But yeah, no, I'm not going to say it's totally easy to ignore every troll, because some of them are just so gross.
Yeah.
Some of them will sink down to crazy levels just to try to hit the high mark, or low mark, I guess, in this case.
Oh yeah. And I mean, like, it can be exhausting a little bit, like emotionally, to kind of take all those negative comments. But at the end of the day, you just have to think about who the person is sitting there writing them.
Find their mother and get to their Facebook and say, your son has been a bad boy.
It's just, at the end of the day, the streamer and the other community members who are there making it a positive experience come out the winners versus the troll. So
100%.
yeah, you just kind of have to take it with a grain of salt and just keep doing what you're doing and what you like.
So you recently got partnered, and you're having a blast. You're playing games. You're having great community times. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Good question.
I do interviews sometimes at work, so have to bring in one of those types of. So tell me about your ambition.
Honestly, I still see myself on Mixer. Hopefully, Mixer at that point has grown into something. I don't ever want it to get Twitch size. I want it to keep being Mixer and keep that
Keeps
same
it personal.
level. Yeah, I kind of want I don't know if that's naive of me to want that or what. But I still would like to be on Mixer, and I think I'd like to be a go-to voice for, gaming events and appearances like this. I wanna get out there and talk about video games and make sure that there's a positive voice in the community. Because I mean, there's a lot of positive voices, but sometimes the negative can drown out the positive.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And so I want to be able to get out there into the world, PAXs, the E3s, and just kind of spread that message. And I'd like to still be working in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
But yeah, I'm kind of where I am right now. I'd like to be in this spot 5 years from now, just better, if that makes sense.
With an 8K monitor, though, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
yeah.
I see in your background there you have some Xbox and Mixer paraphernalia, and I love it. I think it's great. I think that you should definitely wear that loud and proud. No matter what the PlayStation people say, the Nintendo folks, hey, you got your thing, zone it.
Oh, I can say it if you want.
I'm gonna mute you, Tyler. So
I think.
So I do have to ask though. You get one thing back there behind. I think it's like a Master Chief thing. Is that Phil Spencer's face that I see poking his head over?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay,
Wait,
so
Microsoft's Phil Spencer.
Yeah. Okay, so just full disclosure, I have
Is that a kiss pillow?
No, it's not a kiss pillow, but it is I call it, okay, and so this is kind of a community thing.
Candle? Is that an effigy?
Yes.
That better be a candle because it looks like something much darker.
This candle with Phil Spencer's face.
Okay, it is phallic shape. I had total misjudgings.
It's a candle, I promise.
Okay.
So this started off as
Does this smell like him?
a friend of mine. No, it doesn't, and unfortunately, and he smells really good. I got to hug him once, and the man, he's just all, everything's good about Phil Spencer. Anyways, so we call him Papa Phil in my community, just kind of it was started off as a joke, and then also as a joke, I made this candle. And then it kind of turned into a whole thing. So now it sits on my desk, and I light it occasionally. But yeah, there it is. He's got the Xbox logo.
I love that. It's hilarious. Now I got to ask you a question, since obviously you're familiar with Phil. When I first he got introduced after he took over head of Xbox, it was about the time that True Blood was on TV. And
my gosh, yeah.
Did you see that show?
Yeah, I love True Blood, but he looks like
Bill Compton, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, the first thing I thought was like, it's okay. I just after the stage, be like, now on Xbox, it's okay. We need you.
It's okay. He totally looks like him. What's the guy's name? Moyer. Something Moyer.
I can't remember his actual name. I just knew him from the show, and I was like,
oh,
man, he looks just like it. But Phil's a fantastic guy.
Him.
I haven't met him personally. I haven't had a chance to hug him, obviously. So. But I love everything he's done with Xbox, and it seems like it's in good hands. And I'm excited for the future under his tutelage. Tutelage?
Yeah.
Patronage?
Yeah.
Vision?
I don't know. Leadership?
There you go.
Direction? I don't. Yeah. There's many words we could use.
Under his driving of the car.
Yeah.
Mixership.
Mixership. There you go. So I know we're over time. I'm sorry, Kevin, Donnie.
Just a little bit.
But I just wanted to give you a few minutes here to close out and just give some final thoughts. What you think about streaming, gaming industry. The floor is yours.
Oh gosh. Oh man, there's been so much pressure. So much pressure in this recording. But no, I mean, I think that the gaming industry right now is kind of at a turning point. And I think we as creators in the gaming industry, and I don't know if you have other creators listening or just active community members, I think that it's everybody's responsibility to kind of be the change you want to see in gaming right now. And I know you guys preach about being a positive movement and everything like that. And I think that that's really admirable. And I think everyone should just keep doing what they're doing as long as you're not being a dick.
That's right.
Got it.
Was it Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, whatever it is? They ended like party on dudes and be excellent to each other, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's the motto I kind of love to live by in the Twitter sphere and social media side of things. Is like, look, there's no reason to be. I don't want to use the term you used, but an individual.
Sorry, I'm sorry if I shouldn't.
No, it's fine. I just don't want to use the term. just be
You can
nice
say
to
it.
people.
A large phallus. A large
Yeah,
candle
nice
like
people.
Yeah, exactly. Just be awesome to each other. I think at the end of the day, we're all gamers. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. There's more than enough room for literally everybody, every console, every game, every interest.
Except for Microsoft. What?
But yeah,
I know about numbered tiers.
just just be a good person in the gaming world, the gaming sphere, no matter what sphere you're part of.
Don't be toxic.
Don't be
Yeah,
toxic.
exactly.
Be awesome, and just keep the gaming industry on like the direction you want it to go in. Just that's about it. I don't know if that was too deep or not.
No,
Visionary.
Yeah,
you were judged, and you were, in my opinion.
I made a paladin, and I find you redeemable.
Wait, you say what?
I made a paladin. I'm a prot pally by trade. I tank.
Very nice. Very nice.
Cool. I do want to just end the conversation with, because I don't know the answer to this. What's your favorite game right now?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I know that is the hardest question of the night.
Like lights were fading, all of a sudden this huge spotlight from a helicopter just.
And one
slapped
more
right on
thing.
me.
Trying to think. So honestly, at this moment, the game that whenever I don't know what I want to play, but I know I want to play something good and something I'm going to enjoy, the game I keep going back to is Fallout 4.
Wow.
So
Unexpected, but hey,
I
you enjoy it. You enjoy it.
I have it.
I 100%ed the achievements in that game.
Wow.
That is.
Yeah.
Wahoo.
Yeah, for vanilla game and for all of the DLCs except for one. I just bought it because it was on sale, so I'm currently working my way through that. But I really, 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 really like Fallout.
Are you anxiously excited for whatever the next Elder Scrolls is, or are you just kind of the Fallout?
Oh
thing?
no, I love Elder Scrolls as well. I'm actually very close to 100%ing Skyrim, the remaster.
Oh.
But yeah, bought that for the third time. But yeah, I'm excited for whatever Bethesda decides to do after they stop beating the dead horse that is Skyrim.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I love that game, but I mean, seriously, at this point, let give us something else, please. That's Elder Scrolls or Fallout.
But you get the Master Sword and his tunic. And there's
So I cannot justify buying Skyrim for literally, is it 360 PC? Fourth time. I could not.
Oh, I thought to name off each
Justify.
system it's on. I was like, oh, please, we gotta keep going. I don't
Well,
have.
not only that, but those are the copies I own. I cannot justify a fourth copy in my house. My house is not big enough for a fourth copy of Skyrim.
Jeez, I don't even want to talk about Minecraft then.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yep. Nathan,
Alicia,
wrap us up.
I'm about to wrap it up.
All right.
Where can people find you?
I'm 8-Bit Blonde pretty much everywhere on the internet, including Xbox Live and Mixer and Twitter, all that good stuff. Yeah, 8-Bit Blonde spelt out. That's where you can find me.
Cool. Tyler, I guess. Where can we find you?
I guess if you want to find me, you can talk to me like an old man. You can find me on Twitter at 2times_Tyler, where I can tell you the story, the fine, beautiful story of how I Gorilla Glued construction paper of my Waluigi costume to my eyebrows. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I Gorilla Glued for the last podcast episode construction paper to my eyebrows that look like Waluigi, which I did a terrible job, but Waluigi, yeah. And I tried peeling it off, and I lost my eyebrows. I Gorilla Glued waxed my eyebrows off.
Oh my
For
God.
those who were waiting at the very beginning, it's like, what happened? He said he lost body parts. Did he get neutered? No, it was just eyebrows.
That's pretty much one of the best things I've heard all week. Like, that's hilarious, but also very sad.
It's Tyler.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I've had worse things. I could tell you the story about my first time with RuneScape, but details. PG people.
Oh man.
Oh gosh.
Wow. You can find me at Voiced by Nathan, and on Xbox Live, I am at Spider Jedi. And if you want to follow this fine show that you're listening to, it is at PSVG on Twitter. Obviously, PlaySomeVideoGames.com, YouTube.com/PlaySomeVideoGames. All the places. It's either PSVG or Play Some Video Games, or just send Donnie a message to say, "Hey, where you at?" and he'll tell you everything like right away.
He'll say, "Pass the Buckeye." And he's like, "For my brother," and then he'll show you how to link. Or sister.
Nice.
Buckeyes don't discriminate; they're just bad. Anyways, you're
They're
saying
just bad people?
No, not bad people. Yes. What?
Tyler, I think that it has been fun with you and PSVG, but Donnie's going to listen to this episode. And
What?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's not how you end this show. Boys and girls, Kevin likes to say something that is, I don't like to say it though. So, Tyler, what does Kevin usually say?
Don't forget to feed your dogs. Oh wait, that's my line. I say that at the end. And don't forget, everybody, to play some video games.
That's not what he says either.
Oh, crap. Koopalings. Yes, that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, never stop gaming.
Game.